because you had Zeke and Josh Jacobs in the last few weeks. Now you got Chubbs and Hunt. How did they prepare you for Chubbs and Hunt?
What they all have in common is they're elite runners. And Kareem Hunt, he's actually from where I'm from, Northeast Ohio. So I've known a lot about him since high school. I know his high school coach really well, Matt Duffy. And so I've known about Kareem for a long time. Played at Toledo, and he certainly is an outstanding runner. Outstanding runner, can catch the ball too. And then Nick Chubb is just he's such a powerful runner, and he's got speed too. As much as he's a power runner, this guy can really run too. And so it's a really, really good tandem. Right now, it's as good a tandem as anybody in the NFL. And I think that we played Pollard and Zeke. We played Gibson, McKissick. Last week, Jacobs, Kenyon Drake, and Peyton Barber. And what it tells you is that the NFL is loaded with good players, and these two guys are as good as it gets on contact. That's what the data will tell you. Yards after contact is a real strength of this team, especially in the fourth quarter. And a lot of it has to do with how good their runners are, and a lot of it has to do with how good their O-line and tight ends are. And their fullback, Andy Janovich, I was with him in Denver, and he's an outstanding player. So there's a lot of good run game design with that group, with Bill Callahan and Kevin Stefanski, and they're a tough cover for sure.
Hey, Coach, would you describe the reason you chose a model our way, and then how you've seen that expressed thus far through the season?
Yeah, I really believe in the power of team, and I really believe that you do things together. And I think when you talk about our way, that when I got here, when you're trying to establish something, you want to establish something that's meaningful to everybody within the organization, not just players, not just coaches. And our way for me is relationships and competition. And what that does is it puts the emphasis and it puts the focus on you, and it doesn't put the focus on something else. It puts the focus on everyone within the organization, because everybody plays a really important part in becoming the team and the organization that you're capable of being. And I think that no matter who it is, man or woman, no matter their role, they can really identify with that sort of mission statement. And I feel like when you have things going, when you break down, or you want to be known for something as a team, I think that our way is something that really brings people together, and that people can identify with, and that you can get behind. And so it's just a way of bringing people together and knowing what we're fighting. Yeah, I really believe in shared purpose, and I think that when the offense understands what's going on the other side of the football, there's more purpose to the plan, and there's more ownership and buy-in from people. And I really believe that in 2021 it's important to bring people together, because I think you play with more purpose when you know what's happening around you, and that you're transparent about what's happening. And I think what that does is there's nowhere to hide, whether things are good or bad. You know where the ownership is, you know where the accountability is. And I think that what we try to do is create real transparency so that we can have high standards for performance, where everybody's accountable for their performance. And then I think, when you go into a game, everybody knows what it's going to take. And I feel like not speaking in generalities, when we go into those meetings, we're not trying to be general. We're trying to be specific, because that's what can happen sometimes, is you're really not saying anything. We want to be specific so that these players understand that there's a lot that goes into these games. And the specifics of it are what players love. Tell me what I need to do. Tell me what we need to do and how we need to do it and why it's important. And I think that by bringing everybody within the organization together, you'll have a better team whenever you play.
And coming out of that Cowboys game, you feel that's an easier way to communicate with everybody their purpose and what they need to do to make those changes, to correct those changes, if you will?
For sure. And I think, like just last week, for instance, after the 2 games of some procedural issues, the way we practiced last week with our operation offensively, there was more urgency in practice. There was more ownership for people, and you could see it unfolding. And our defensive players were able to see Jalen Guyton, Jared Cook, Keenan Allen. You were able to see these guys do it the way it should be done. You could see it. Offense could see our defense in the run game. They could see, like, hey, yes, there it is. This is what he's talking about. And that's what people want. They want to know that you're working on things, that you're fixing things that aren't going right, and that you're taking accountability, because we're not perfect. I think a big thing about pro ball and just life in general is taking ownership when it doesn't go well, because it's easy to take ownership when it does. It's much more challenging to take the ownership when it doesn't go well, and not hiding from that, because we're not perfect people. And I think that it's a lot easier life to live when you're willing to make mistakes and own up to them.